Good morning. Isis and I are back at Castle in the Clouds today, taking a hike around. No special destination in mind, just a hike for Isis because yesterday, 11 years ago, was the day I brought her home. So, sort of a celebration of Isis today. And nothing better than getting out in the woods. That's the trail right there. And we'll see what we do today. All right, bye. Of course, I have to be patient today because there's going to be a lot of this. A lot of sniffing, a lot of stopping, and a lot of exploring on the part of Isis. So, we'll see what she finds. So back a long time ago, when I was still living in apartments, I always wanted a dog, but I wasn't going to get a dog until I got my house. 14 years ago, I got my house, and then it took a little bit to get the dog. So, but I did. 11 years ago, I was living with a guy. Me and him and his teenage son went out for a ride like we do sometimes. It was a Sunday. And I'm going uphill. And so, yeah, we went out for a ride, and a couple of hours later, we started looking at dogs online. And then we eventually ended up at a breeder in New Hampshire who bred German Shepherds and Yorkies and Shiba Inus. And that's how it all happened. We spent most of the afternoon getting things together. I had already picked her out because I saw her online. She was the only white one in the whole litter. And I knew she had to be mine, and we made it so. But it was a long, exhausting day. That's basically how she came about. And then later on, I'll get into hiking and all that good stuff. And, we'll just continue to celebrate Isis today. So, on my way home with this little tiny dog in my hands, we had nothing for her. Like, nothing at all. That's how much of an impulse this was, which may or may not be a good thing. I'm just going to keep talking while she is doing her stuff. So, we were on our way home. We had nothing for her. We had to stop at Petco or PetSmart or one of those, which meant we needed bowls and a crate and a leash and a collar and a harness and some food and some treats. And now the guy that I was living with, this is how the hike is going to be today, guys. Don't eat that. Come on. So, there we go. So the guy that I was living with was kind of driving the bus, so to speak, and making all the choices. And yeah, that was really working out well. We'll just leave it at that. And then we needed a name. So, come on, Isis. They were throwing out, because he had his son with him, they were throwing out girls' names because that's what they do in their family. And I was like, no, I'm not going to call my dog Sarah, or, I think another one was Linda. Like, does she look like a Linda? No. So I got on my phone and I started looking up things that interest me. And I found Isis. Now, Isis is the goddess of the poor and the, downtrodden. But she's also the goddess of nature and animals and the woods and the forest. And that's what sold me. So that's how Isis came about, much to the protest of the other two people in my life. And then, of course, like 4 weeks later, news broke that there was a new terrorist group in town. Now, they were calling it ISIS, and I was pissed. And, but the terrorist group is ISIL. ISIL. Isis, the goddess, is right here. And I've been going on for 3 minutes, so I'm going to think of some more stories and get back to you later. So naturally, I had already done a round of the 48 when I got Isis. So of course, she was going to have to do one too. And that's how a hiking dog is born. Now, when I got her, she was only 3.5 months old. So once I got her set up with a vet and things like that, I started talking about hiking. And, the vet was like, you can take her on short hikes and carry her if you need to and things like that and make sure you're prepared. I'd done a lot of hiking, so I already knew I had to be prepared. And then at 4.5 months old, and this is controversial, but she's doing just fine. 4.5 months old, she climbed her first 4K. She climbed Tecumseh in the wintertime, so all the rocks were filled in with snow. It was a nice smooth trail. She's double coated. We did carry her on the way down, but she climbed all the way up to the top. And she did it. And she loved it. And I wasn't about to stop her. But we did it in moderation. Now, I used to go out every weekend without fail. But I knew I couldn't do that with her right off. But a beautiful partnership was born. I will also say, too, that the Tecumseh hike, she was actually off-leash. And that's how we learned she shouldn't be off-leash. She has zero listening skills. A lot of people met her that day. She's a good dog, and she's a good hiking dog. But that's how it all started. I bought her special treats for today. She's getting pork sausage bites all day today. She likes them too. Did you finish that one already? You want another one? All right, I can't do this with one hand, so I'm gonna get her another treat and I'll talk to you later. Now, mind you, Isis has outlasted 2 relationships and people either love her or they hate her. And I'm okay with that because I love her. And she's just a great hiking dog. Like, she did Tecumseh, then we did Womback. Then we took a little break because I wasn't sure about the winter with her. And we picked it right back up. She did Old Spec in shoulder season for spring. She has done now multiple rounds of the 48. She's done most of the 67 in New England, but like she can't do anything in Baxter because
there's no dogs allowed unless they're a service dog, and she's not a service dog. She didn't do the Carabasset Valley because that was when she got spayed. So I left her with a roommate, and I did it myself. But she's just hiked right alongside me the whole time. She doesn't care that she's on a leash. She does just fine. She's been doing that way for over 11 years now. And we're going to keep going. They say never get a Shiba Inu as a first dog. Sometimes I agree with that. But we've done it over 11 years now. We know each other so well. She's also done all but I think 6 of the 48 New Hampshire 4,000 footers in winter too. At a certain point, I had decided that she didn't need to do all the lists all the time. So we kind of dropped that, and we're fine. We still get out in the wintertime. We still have a lot of fun. But yeah, she has done a tremendous amount in her a little over 11 years of life. We have decided to go to Turtleback Mountain. I guess what really ruined peak bagging for me, and subsequently ISIS, is backpacking. When, 2015, I had the brilliant idea to attempt the long trail. Quickly realized that I am one income trying to keep a house afloat. So a month off was not going to do it. So I chopped it in half and became a section hiker. But 2 weeks on the long trail completely killed peak bagging. We loved it. It was hot, but we still had great weather. Not a whole lot of rain. She did excellent. I carried all her food, carried everything for her. I carried her sometimes. And that was it. That's how we started section hiking the AT, because we started in North Adams and went to Lincoln Gap for 150 miles first, and then we were gonna come back and do it all over again the next year. But we just had a blast. The people, all of the things we saw, and time together was really good. You know, if you ever really want to get to know your dog, take it backpacking. We're approaching the summit, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, that's where we came from. Actually, that's where we came from. I was panning around here. It's a real pretty day. Still on the chilly side. Every time I wanted to take my coat off, I'd get chilly again, so I just left it on. But this is the summit of Turtleback Mountain at Castle in the Clouds Conservation Area. Isis and I have also redlined this whole area. There's about 35 miles of trails. That was a fun project. Beautiful, beautiful trails, beautifully maintained. I'll take you over to the summit sign in a little bit. There you have it. Once again, Turtleback Mountain. And while we're still up here on the summit, oh, that sun feels so good. Next spring, last video I kind of talked about how I've got Maine stuck in my head, and it's still stuck in my head. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna go back to the Centennial Trail. We're gonna attempt that again. We're gonna hike out as close to the Mahoosic Notch. Sorry, I don't want to trip. As close to the Mahoosic Notch as we can, because I'm not taking the dog through the Mahoosic Notch. And if I still want to do it, I will do it at another time. It's just not fair to her. But we'll get as close as we can. And that should be a good week. You know. I only have a week's vacation. I could probably do 2 weeks if I wanted to. But then I have other stuff I want to do. And since she hasn't done the Carabasset Valley, which is beautiful, I'd like to take her there too. So I got some ideas. We're going to kind of piece Maine together as much as we can. And focus on that for the time being. And in between then, there's winter hiking to be done. Still waiting for the flakes to fly and stick to the ground. So hopefully that will start happening real soon. I got a few more Isis tales to tell you. We're on our way back now, and we'll talk to you down the trail. The Turtleback Mountain trail that we've been on turns into a snowmobile trail in the wintertime. As you saw from that picture, they've already got the fencing up, because while, we share the trails with snowmobiles, they don't go everywhere. But I generally don't hike this trail in the wintertime. I'll go over towards Mount Roberts, sorry. Mount Rogers is in Virginia. I'll go over by Mount Roberts and hike around the settlement trail and do all the back trails and stuff like that. We'll probably come up here and do some snowshoeing if we ever get some snow. So that's the plan. Isis got wind of something and she is just trying to pull me. All right. Take it easy, dog. You don't have to kill me getting back to the car. Heading back always goes quicker. There was a time when she hated out and backs. She loved loop trails. She would fight me on an out and back all the time. But now she knows the drill. And she knows we're heading back to the car, too. Last time I counted, Isis in her lifetime, just on hiking trails, doesn't count walks around the neighborhood, has done 3,052 miles in her lifetime on hiking trails. She's all of 17 pounds. She's an amazing dog. She's only had 2 emergency vet visits in her lifetime, and I like to keep it that way. So We have a good time together. Best impulse buy I ever made. We seem to have lost our sun. There's a giant dark cloud hanging over us. I don't think it's gonna rain, but I haven't seen the forecast in a while. Wind is picking up too. That's all right. I think we maybe have like a mile and a half, maybe 2. I don't know. Back to the car. Sorry. Pay attention to my feet. All the leaves on the ground are hiding all the rocks, and I don't want to break an ankle, because that would certainly put a damper on all of my plans. So, all right, we got a nice straight trail right now. Heading down. You probably can't see this, but with the wind chill, it's cold enough that what should be sprinkles is snowing. It's not going to amount to anything, but it's nice to see. It's getting a little bit more serious now. It's catching everybody off guard. It is snowing. See, some of it's landing on me. We'll pause this ISIS celebration to celebrate some snow. Like, remember in Maryland back in May when it snowed on us? Maybe we just have that effect. See, look. I love it. I don't know why. I'm just excited for cold weather. More of this to come. Isis likes the snow too. Being a double-coated dog, I don't really have to worry about her too much as far as getting cold. I do have a coat for her if we go out in like below zero wind chills and whatnot. She hates to wear it. She hates clothing in general. She'd rather just be the way she is, which is fine with me. We are careful in the wintertime too. I keep a close watch on her and myself. This is fun. In case you're wondering today too, I have my alpaca fleece hoodie on. I have my Ghost Whisperer down puffy. I have my fleece-lined leggings and a pair of Injinji trail weight toe socks along with my Hokas. That's it. I've got my hat on too, and I got gloves in my pocket, but I haven't felt the need to wear them yet. And yeah, and we're heading back to the car. That's where we're heading. We're getting pretty close to the end, but it's been a good day. The sun came back out, and it was a good day to be a little white dog. Of course, when we're talking about ISIS, I have to mention that, you know, what happened to her almost a year ago. Still kind of fresh. You know, it's one of those things that's never going to go away. But as you can tell, she's fully healed. That anniversary is coming up, and I plan to do a hike then and go into a little bit more detail. But it's still the most horrific day of my life. And of Isis's too, I'm sure. So we'll talk more about that later. In the meantime, we're going to enjoy the sunshine that's back and head back to the car. Happy gotcha weekend, Isis. She's already getting ready for bed. 7.5 miles up to Turtleback Mountain. Snowed on. It was a beautiful day. I had so much fun. I got to do that more often. Thanksgiving week. Short week of work. Big turkey dinner. There's got to be a hike in there somewhere. I'm telling you. I'm going to try to dream up something between now and Thursday night. And if it's really super fun, we'll take you along. So I've got to find coffee and a charger to get home. And that's it for the adventure today. So thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all in the next one. All right. Bye.